The Palestinian Declaration of Independence is a statement written by the Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish and proclaimed by Yasser Arafat on 15 November 1988. It had previously been adopted by the Palestinian National Council, the legislative body of the Palestine Liberation Organization, by a vote of 253 in favor, 46 against and 10 abstentions. It was read at the closing session of the 19th Palestinian National Council to a standing ovation. Upon completing the reading of the declaration, Arafat, as chairman of the Palestine Liberation Organization, assumed the title of President of Palestine. In April 1989, the PLO Central Council elected Yasser Arafat the first president of the State of Palestine. Background: on 28 October 1974, the 1974 Arab League Summit held in Rabat designated the PLO as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, and reaffirmed their right to establish an independent state of urgency. Legal justification for the declaration was based on United Nations General Assembly Resolution 181 of 29 November 1947, which provided for the termination and partition of the British Mandate into two states. Despite the proclamation of the State of Palestine, at the time the Palestine Liberation Organization did not exercise control over any territory, and designated Jerusalem as the capital of Palestine, which was under Israeli control and claimed by it as Israel's capital. The PLO was hence a government in exile between 1988 and 1994. The PLO began to exercise a limited rule in the areas A and B of the West Bank and part of the Gaza Strip as a consequence of the 1993 Oslo Accords, under the umbrella of the Palestinian National Authority. In 2012, Palestine was upgraded to the status of non-member observer state in the UN, and since 2013 Palestine gained UN recognition as State of Palestine. Significance: the declaration concerns the Palestine region, as defined by the British Mandate of Palestine, which includes the whole of Israel as well as the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. It references the United Nations Partition Plan for Palestine of 1947 and UN resolutions since 1947 in general as providing legitimacy to Palestinian statehood. The Partition Plan also served as the basis for Israel's Declaration of Independence, and was not accepted by the Palestinian Arab leadership at the time. The 1988 declaration does not explicitly recognize the State of Israel. However, an accompanying document that explicitly mentions UN Security Council Resolution 242, and Yasser Arafat's statements in Geneva a month later were accepted by the United States, is sufficient to interpret the declaration as recognizing Israel in its pre-1967 boundaries. The declaration's reference to Palestine being the land of the three monotheistic faiths has been held as recognizing the Jewish historical connection to the land, instead of arguing that Jews are colonists and foreigners in the land, referring to the historical injustice inflicted on the Palestinian Arab people resulting in the dispersion and depriving them of their right to self-determination. The declaration recalled the Treaty of Lausanne and UN General Assembly Resolution 181 as supporting the rights of Palestinians and Palestine. The declaration then proclaims a State of Palestine on our Palestinian territory with its capital Jerusalem. The borders of the state are not specified. The population of the state was referred to by the statement. The State of Palestine is the state of Palestinians wherever they may be. The state was defined as an Arab country by the statement. The State of Palestine is an Arab state, an integral and indivisible part of the Arab nation. Consequences: the declaration was accompanied by a PNC call for multilateral negotiations on the basis of UN Security Council Resolution 242. This call was later termed the Historic Compromise, as it implied acceptance of the two-state solution, namely that it no longer questioned the legitimacy of the State of Israel. The PNC's political communique accompanying the declaration called only for withdrawal from Arab Jerusalem and the other Arab territories occupied. Yasser Arafat's statements in Geneva a month later were accepted by the United States as sufficient to remove the ambiguities it saw in the declaration and to fulfill the long-held conditions for open dialogue with the United States. As a result of the declaration, the United Nations General Assembly convened, inviting Yasser Arafat, chairman of the PLO, to give an address. An UNGA resolution was adopted, acknowledging the proclamation of the State of Palestine by the Palestinian National Council on 15 November 1988, and it was further decided that the designation Palestine should be used in place of the designation Palestine Liberation Organization in the United Nations system. 104 states voted for this resolution. 44 abstained, and 2, the United States and Israel, voted against. By mid-December, 75 states had recognized Palestine, rising to 93 states by February 1989. On 29 November 2012, the United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution 67/19, upgrading Palestine to non-member observer state status in the United Nations. It was adopted by the 67th session of the United Nations General Assembly on the date of the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people and the 65th anniversary of the adoption by the General Assembly of Resolution 181 on the future government of Palestine. The draft resolution was proposed by Palestine's representative at the United Nations. It, however, maintains the status of the Palestinian Liberation Organization as the representative of the Palestinian people within the United Nations system. On 31 December 2014, the United Nations Security Council voted down a resolution demanding the end of Israeli occupation and Palestinian statehood by 2017. 8 members voted for the resolution. However, the resolution did not get the minimum of 9 votes needed to pass the resolution. Australia and the United States voted against the resolution, with the United Kingdom, Lithuania, Nigeria, South Korea and Rwanda abstaining. Bibliography: Kellerman, Aharon. Society and Settlement. Jewish Land of Israel in the 20th Century. State University of New York Press. ISBN 0-7914-12954-4.